All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I say good evening. It's my pleasure to be here this evening to be part of this yet another epoch-making occasion to mark the activities of the Stallion 2006 graduating class, activities that are preparatory to the graduation itself. My name is Chibundu Eti, as had already been introduced. And I hope that you're here prepared to have the experience. That is what it is about this evening, the experience, which is hosting some very illustrious, successful personalities of our society that have come to talk to us, to share their experiences with us, especially the 2016 Stallion class, graduating class of Babcock University, on the threshold of getting into the real world of works. We need to have these experiences to help us as we get out to the world of works. And so in a couple of minutes, we are going to have our guests. They have been here. We have met some of them informally, but we will be meeting them formally in some minutes from now. We'd like to thank our special guests before they arrive. Let's thank them. Let me express my gratitude and my admiration for so many of them, three of them who have been here way ahead of start of this program. And so, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Stallion graduating class, please kindly settle down and settle in so we can be positioned to welcome and receive our special guests that have braved all the odds to come here this afternoon to motivate us as we get out into the world of work. Stallion class 2016, can you make some noise for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen? All right, now I know you are in the house. So these are members of the 2016 Stallion graduating class of Babcock University. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Stallion, I just introduced you. Come on, I thought you would do better than that for yourselves. All right, they're actually more than this, but some of them are having to do their defense today also, and that's why they are not here, all of them at the same time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have these distinguished persons come to talk to us today about what life has been for them out there in their various industries and how they have coped with the challenges. Obviously, we all know that the tough out there is not rosy, it's difficult, but they have braved all the difficulties and all the odds to make it to where they are today. And they are going to be talking to us about what it's been for them, and that is why it is called the experience. So this is the experience. It is a platform, it's a forum to share what it's been, so that these ones who are on the threshold of getting out to the threshold of their careers would also be motivated and know how exactly to navigate the terrains that you have been through. All right, so in no particular order this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand over the microphone to our guests, and they will take turns in talking to us about themselves. It's about them tonight, this evening. And I'm going to begin with Chief Remy Ogumefun. Chief Remy Ogumefun. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for Chief Remy Ogumefun.
Good afternoon. Once again, my name is Remy Ogumefun. The appellation of a chief, with all respect, yes, I'm a chief, but my name is simply Remy Ogumefun. Dr. Frank Jacobs was invited here. He's the president of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here, not because he would not like to be here, but other engagements made it impossible for him to be here. I'm the Director General and the CEO of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. So we work together, and 2 days ago, he called me and said, I'm sorry, can you make it? Because of this is something that is uppermost in my heart, talking to young people. And he also knows that I like working with young people myself. Today, I mentor 23 people in various areas of the Nigerian economy. As they are young managers, but I mentor them to be able to guide them properly in achieving their life goals. Now, I've been told I have to talk about myself, and I will come back to you because we are talking about learning from experience. I had good parents, and that's very important for you to have good parents. I have very good parents who are very, very responsible. They sent me to school, just like they did for you, sent me to very good schools, and also paid for some of my fees outside Nigeria here, going to universities also abroad. So my own kind of experience is an experience when Nigeria was still good. I don't know whether many of us here have been told by our parents that Nigeria used to be good. Things used to work here in this country. I went to the University of Ife. I studied law there. And I can tell you, when I was in the University of Ife, today, at that time, it was really nice. We had a good time. We spent time studying. We also spent time socializing with ourselves and also engaging in other extracurricular activities that promotes the common good and also look into the future of what Nigeria should look like. I was a student leader. What you call the students' union leader. I led students. And when I finished, I got what they call the University Merit Award for Outstanding Students' Leadership. No, I'm okay. Now, we are all leaders, and in everything that we do, we need to imbibe that culture of leading. And that is what is lacking in the environment that we have in Nigeria today. So my take is that it's always good to have that concept in you, that whatever what I'm doing, I need to lead. I need to lead by example. So coming out of the university, I went to the youth service corps like all of us do. I served in Cross River State. I was a state council. I was a prosecutor. And from there, I came back and started my career of law. I didn't study law by accident. Right away when I was a young boy, a toddler, I had always had the ambition that I'm going to be a lawyer. So it's not something that I walked into or just selected a course. I knew right away from the beginning that this is the career I want to pursue in my life. So coming out, practice law. I practiced law for 5 years in various areas of the economy because you need also to have experience. So I got that experience working in various areas of the economy. And after working there for 5 years, then I went to the banking industry. So I was in the banking industry for a good 17 years. Became a general manager in the banking industry. Became an executive director in the banking industry. I was in Universal Trust Bank PLC. And then at a point in time, I discovered that I need to engage myself in my first choice of call, which is law again. So I came out in 2005 and went to establish the law firm of Blackstone Partners, Nigeria, as the managing partner. So I manage it along with many other lawyers that were working along with me. But the quest for public service is always in me. I wanted to serve. And I can tell you that if we have the culture of service, you will enjoy what you do every day. So it didn't take some time when other organizations also asked me to come and sit on their board. First one was the First Bank Group. They invited me, and up to today, I still sit as a group director there. And then in 2013, while I was in a fellowship in Glasgow, UK, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria called me and invited me to come and become their Director General. So that is where we are today. But what I just want to share with you in that experience is that you must know your interest. And that is what I did. You must know your interest. Just know and feel comfortable with what you enjoy doing. That is the key to success. And I want you to take this, and this is very, very critical, because you are now on a threshold of making a decision about your life. When you have studied and you are going into the world, at that point in time, are those areas where you have to make a critical decision. So those decisions must be influenced by what you enjoy. You must do what you enjoy. Now, I will tell you why I mentioned that you must do what you enjoy. That means you must find your calling. That is exactly what I meant by that. You must find your calling. What kind of thing, what career am I going to do that I know that I'll be comfortable in and I will achieve success? Many of us know Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs created Apple. In one of his discussions, which later became part of his book, he said, everyone must do what interests you. You must do what you like. I believe if he didn't have that kind of concept, he would probably not have made what he achieved in his very short life. And that's Steve Jobs for you. We also must have read Michael Dell. And I made these two examples because young people are very quite familiar with IT issues. And I'm sure many of us must also have read about Michael Dell, who also found it comfortable doing what he likes and achieve success in it. In Nigeria, there are also so many examples of those who enjoyed what they did. They could recognize their call. They are in various areas of field of endeavor. There's one particularly that I so respect. She's a lady. And I'm sure many of you must have at least read about her or watched her on the television on entrepreneurship. That lady is Ibukun Agoshika. I'm sure all of you, because she also works with young people, like I do. And I think you should also learn from my experience. Because I also made sure that my daughter accepted her as her mentor. She mentors my daughter. Now, she got out of university and read chemistry. Chemical science, that is lab work. We went to the lab and qualified with BSc in chemistry. But when she came out of, went for service, she got employed to do her service in a furniture company. That furniture company, I know that company up to today, is one of my members. That's Alibat. While she was in Alibat for that 1 year, she now discovered that she loves selling chairs. Chairs. conceptualizing how a chair should look like and how it should be comfortable. And after that, she set up her own company right away after the university, after service. That is what we hear today as the Chair Center. Their products are all over the country. It's one of the foremost furniture company in Nigeria. She has made a lot of success of her life. It's somebody that I really, really admire. So why I mentioned that is for you to understand what I meant by the culture of recognizing what interests you and pursuing that interest as a goal. That is what is going to make anyone to be successful. And that is what I have done in my own life. In my position as the Director General of MAN, because I work with so many of those companies that you hear of, the Unilevers, the Nigerian Breweries, the PZs, all those big companies you hear in Nigeria, I work with them. And the issue that always comes up is that there are a lot of people that apply to us for jobs. They want work, they want jobs. I think it is very necessary to mention that out there in Nigeria at the moment, there are no jobs waiting. There are no jobs waiting at all. The problem, and I think we should need to tell ourselves the truth, is that the unemployment level in this country is very, very high at the moment, and we are not creating enough jobs to be able to absorb those who are coming out of the colleges. So if we have all these problems, looking at my own experience, what will I advise you? Every young person, either you're a young man or a woman, you need now in this country to think outside the box. The old days of thinking that this is the way it happens, this is the way it's run, has gone. We have now come to a situation where you have to stand out of the crowd and make yourself a leading example. So we need now to be dreaming as young people who are coming out of universities to dream of what others have not thought about. When Steve Jobs was having his dream was simple. I want a Macintosh to be in the bedroom or the office of every American. That was his own concept. And that is what has happened today. You have everyone all over the world having a computer either inside his bedroom or in his office. Now we have even done it much better. You can even carry it along with yourself in the smartphone. You can keep it in your pocket or even keep it in your hand. That is what all those young people did. They were very young people. When Steve Jobs did that, it was only 24 years. 24 years. So there's nothing that is above you. There's nothing you cannot achieve. You just have to believe it and have confidence in yourself and remain focused. With my own experience, which I also wish I should share with you, I believe in innovation. One must always strive for excellence in whatever we do. If I'm making this bottle, I want it to be the best bottle. The best bottle anyone can make in the world. If the water is there, I want it to be one of the best water anybody will ever make in the world. So we need constantly to be innovative and also design new processes. You see, this is the age of young people. I can tell you that. fresh brain, great ideas, people who are adaptable to change. And that is why me as a CEO, I go out to look for young people that have good brains, ability to think outside the box, those who have great ideas. And these are normally among young people, people like you. So I want you to believe in your heart and also to believe it that the world out there is for people of your category. That is what I want you to share with you today. And also to mention that education, when we go to universities to have education, it's not because we are coming out to look for a job. Education is empowerment. It's to empower you, to give you knowledge, to be able to challenge the future. That's what education is all about. When I look at this crowd, my prayer is that in the next 5, 6, 7 years, some of you will come to the chambers of commerce. Some of you will attend business seminars. Some will come to trade exhibitions and trade fairs. And just tap me. I think I know you somewhere. I know Mr. Review Gumefu. That day, you spoke about challenging the future. Now I am an entrepreneur. I run this company. I run this business. And I'm doing well. I'm exporting to the world. And I'm expanding my business. That is my prayer for everyone here. Now, I want to share just few ideas with you before I give my the microphone out. Our country has a future. Let me tell you, young men here and women, this country has a future. We are going to be great again. I can tell you that what has happened is a lesson. It's like a lesson of the prodigal son. When things were good, he spent everything, not knowing that the time will come that we will have nothing again. That is exactly what has happened in Nigeria. But the future is rosy. In this country, we have a pool of qualified people, young men and women who have education, who can also be amenable to change, to do things in a different way. We also have patriotic people. Forget about the few numbers that damage our people, that damage our collective interest. They are very, very insignificant. We should not allow them to influence our thoughts. We should not allow them to influence our ideas about Nigeria. They are very, very few. So the future is good. All the indices, all the factors show that this is a country that we need to work for and we also need to invest in. And I can assure you that we all will get our calling in this country and achieve success. So for those who are entrepreneurs, who wants to do something on your own after leaving the university, I can tell you the first thing to do is to have the idea. Once you know what you want to do, you have got it. When we are talking about capital issues, once you have a good idea, there was a time I was told the Bank of Industry is here. You can approach the Bank of Industry if you have ideas. If you have ideas about manufacturing, you want to manufacture anything, just have the idea. Just have the idea. If you have the idea, you can walk into bank, you can walk to the MAN, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, any day, and we are going to promote you. We work with young people. who have ideas and also motivate them, assist them in getting the required capital to start whatever they want to do. Nigeria has 4 areas of comparative advantage. And I want you to please note that today, because there is no point, when I say think outside the box, there is no point doing what everybody is doing. You must stand out of the crowd and do things that nobody has ever thought about. But there are 4 sectors that we have comparative advantage, that if you dream of anything that you think will make you stand out of the crowd, you are likely to achieve it. Food and beverages, textiles and leatherworks, agriculture. When we talk about agriculture to young people, they don't want to listen to it. But there's a lot of money in agriculture. There is a lot of money in agriculture. And the field in agriculture is huge. Great opportunities are available there. And you can get easily finances to do it, especially from young people like you who have the required education. And lastly is the oil and gas sector. There are things to be done there too. Now, finally, I have tried to share this experience of mine with you. Everything that I've talked to you about here today has been my personal experience. And that experience has today taken 35 years of my work life. I've been working after university for 35 years. So I know what I'm talking about, and I want you to please take it seriously, what I've shared with you. And I believe in my heart that those I see here are going to make Nigeria great again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Remi Ogumefon, even though you would prefer that the chief be taken out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from the Director General and the CEO of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Chief Remi Ogumefon himself. Beautiful talk that we have heard from you. As a matter of fact, we believed that you are indeed distinguished and have done so many things. You've gone around the world, you've seen places, you have seen things, and you have had a robust experience working in Nigeria. But for these ones, those of us who are younger, haven't listened to you, we have seen that the situation in Nigeria is getting bleak, more and more bleak. You talked about the good old days, and you said your parents, with all due regard, sir, also talked about the good old days. Here we also hear you talk about the good old days. It seems like we're never going to see these good old days. And you also said something to the effect that Nigeria is going to be great again. And we just want to know, sir, how, when would that be? We want to know what it is. How will these ones, that's what is interesting to them anyway. They've heard the beautiful things that you have said, and how we want to know how did you make it and what it is in them, in the society for them. How are they going to make it? All right, sir. So just in a couple of minutes, tell us exactly what it is that you talked about thinking outside the box. What exactly is that? They would like to know. And how will they, leaving Babcock University and the 4 walls of this institution, what is in it for them? They want to know.
I hope I can sit down. Okay. Now, why I took my time to talk about the past and the present is for us to be able to have a connect. Now, you may ask me, why is Nigerian problem like this today? First of all, let us look at the economy. We have not been able to generate jobs. In fact, the oil sector that we all talk about every day, we don't have the figures for 2015 yet, but the figures for 2014 show that jobs that were created in that sector in that period for 2014 is only 2%. There are sectors in Nigeria that we have not developed. Because I need to let you know why I said Nigeria has the potentials of being great again. There are sectors we have not developed. We are even scratching it. Manufacturing, that is my sector. Today, for some of us who are economic students, you must have heard about the GDP. The GDP contribution of manufacturing to GDP today is about 9.4%. It's unbelievable. 9.4%. That means it is even something you can even compare what we used to have in any small community in the United States. Now, let me clearly explain, because you need to really understand it. The economy has to create jobs. Jobs have to be created by the sectors: manufacturing, agriculture, oil and gas, all the other sectors, so that those who are coming out of university are readily have employment. In those days, people are recruited from the university. That is what good countries do. They go to university, final year students, you go and talk to them, and even urge them to come and work with you. Such doesn't happen anymore. Those who are doing 3 shifts, morning, afternoon, evening, 3 shifts per 24 hours, the industries, are now even managing to do only 1 shift. In other words, we have lost jobs. We have not been able to create jobs. So when we are talking about individuals within the society, we have to look at the entire society itself. We must create an enabling environment for every one of us who are sitting down here to thrive and achieve success in our lives.
All right.
So that is what exactly I am trying to explain. This country, in our country here today, we have to work to make the economy good, make sure that those sectors that are creating jobs will be able to create jobs. And I've told you, agri create jobs, manufacturing create jobs, but their contribution to our earnings is very, very insignificant, which shows that we are not developing it. If you go to China, for instance, right away from the east to west, north, everywhere in China is full of industries all over the place. So people get employed. People get out of university, they have places to be absorbed and also where to get employment. And they are only doing, up to today, China is only doing 46% of their GDP in terms of manufacturing. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, just imagine if we can do just even 20 or 25% manufacturing contributing to the GDP. That will result in at least, I can say it authoritatively, nothing less than 5 million jobs.
Okay.
So we are not getting it right. We have to create an environment. We have to create an environment that will enable young men and women to be able to thrive in our country. And that is exactly what I've been trying to explain to you.
All right, sir.
And that is what government is doing now. Because I need to explain why I said Nigeria will rise up again. First of all, the things that distorts everything that we have, corruption, is being nipped in the bud. Let's throw it to the garbage can. Nothing like corruption in the country. We also have transparency in the way we do business. No under-the-table deals. Everything on the table. Clean, the way it's done in good countries of the world. And then thirdly, which is also very, very important, is that our people, the young people that we are bringing up today, by the time we create an enabling environment that is good for business, new companies spring up, new investment come into Nigeria, our people invest in industry, they invest in agriculture, they invest in mining, they invest in the downstream also of the oil and gas sector. Other areas where we have comparative advantage like textiles and leather works, our young people will start getting employed. That is the kind of environment that the current government, which I talk to them all the time, my people talk to them, my president talks to them also, we engage them, which I am very sure that everyone is now committed to making sure that all the things that we have done wrongly in the past are now corrected, so that young men and women can thrive in this country.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Chief Ogumefo. Creating an enabling environment, that's basically why the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria exists, for industrial development, growth and prosperity of our society. Thank you very much. I will come back to that, sir. Kafi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Great stallions. Oh, it's evening. Good evening. Great stallions. Great stallions. Sound like you're great now. Great stallions. If you want to graduate June 5, oh, you're great stallions. I know so now go respond. Anyway, welcome again. And I feel your pain. Some of you think it shouldn't be under the sun. And some of you just finished defense. How was it? It was, what's up, right? Good. I wish you all the best. And I would just like to say to you that this is the beginning to the best part of your life. And my sincere prayer is that the market favored me, the market will favor you. All right, I'll invite very quickly our next speaker, Dr. Ezekiel Husseini. Please a round of applause for him. If you want to be appreciated one day, give him a round of applause.
Great stallions. Great stallions. Greatest stallions. Thank you very much for Kafi, okay, right. Thank you. And I want to say good evening to all of you. It's my joy to be in your midst this evening, to share my experience with you. First, when I got the invitation to speak about, to come here on this experience, I just wonder how blessed, how lucky you people are. Because when I was leaving the university, I had no privilege. I mean, nobody gave us any privilege of being told what the world ahead looks like. So for you to have this privilege, I consider you blessed, I consider you very lucky. And from this moment, I see that, you gain more independence and respect than you've ever received. Now, if you consider the graduates, I can boldly say, I am a graduate. And you'll be required now to make your own decisions, especially in many areas of your life. My own experience is a function of several things. And I'm going to talk about just 3 of them. The first speaker mentioned his family, that the family played a very significant role in what he is today. Very good upbringing. I also do not lack in that regard. I will talk about my background. I will talk about the kind of future that I wanted when I was at this level that you are today. And I will talk about the role that God also played in my life. First, I happened to be the last child, having lost my dad while I was still in my mother's womb.
So I grew up not knowing my dad. But with the help of my mom, with the help of uncles, I was able to go to school. And also along the line, I want to share this. I had contact because when I to secondary school, I was not really brilliant, and it was like I'll be repeating my classes, but I never repeated. But when I got to first term of my Form 4, we used to call it Form those days. When I got to first term of my Form 4, I had a contact, and then that was the time I gave my life to Christ. And at that moment, everything changed for me up to this very minute. That time, like I said, I not really, not really brilliant. But after that encounter, I discovered that whatever I was taught, what taught in the classroom, by the time I go back to bed, somebody come and teach me in the night, in my dreams. I'll be taught everything I was taught in the daytime. And that's how God helped me. And I then, from that moment, started teaching fellow classmates while I was in secondary school. So that is one thing that played a very significant role in the experience I'm going to share with you tonight. Then secondly, the kind of future that I wanted, because of the background that I have, I wanted a very beautiful future. I wanted a very beautiful family. I wanted a very beautiful and educated wife. I wanted to be corporate. I know quite well there are no two ways to it. There are no two ways to it. What I know is that I need to work very hard and I need to believe in God. So when I had the opportunity of going back to do my HSC, having stayed at home for 2 years to work to get money from HSC, I returned with determination that I must succeed through diligence and honesty. And what I meant by diligence is that I made sure that I gave all my attention to my study. I only had extra time for faith. And I also believe that I must live a life of honesty, which at that time, with the way I conduct myself in the exam hall. So throughout my HSC, up to the time I left university, except the examiners, put seat number. Put your number on the seat and say you must sit here. I always make sure I sit in the front. And that has also guided me up to this very minute. So, in a nutshell, I was guided by hard work. And I believe that I should work as if only by hard work I can succeed. And I should also pray as if only by prayers alone I can succeed. So those are the two main things that I can say has really influenced my life. And so when I finished my university and after my youth service, which I did at Ibadan Polytechnic, I joined University of Ilorin as a graduate assistant. I was there for some time, and I crossed over to University, and I was with them from 1994 up to 1997 when I resigned as lecturer 1. My desire was to have a PhD and possibly to be a professor. But at the time, there was this ASU strike during the Abacha regime that kept many of us at home in 1996. And so people like us were frustrated out of academics and we left. Then I joined Citizen Bank and later on moved to where I am today, which is Babcock Industry. And other things that I've done, you heard when Kafi was reading out my profile. Now, the experience out there is different from your experience within the classroom walls. It's an entire different life outside here. Your parents have been struggling to keep you in school, to make sure that you graduate. They've not been finding things very easy, but they kept on trusting God that one day you will also finish and you'll be able to give them comfort. Now, outside there is a life of struggle. It's a life of survivor of the fittest. Just like many of you see, when you get to Lagos, you see how people struggle to get Mulwe. To get inside Mulwe is somehow like that. So you need to be determined to succeed. You need to be determined that the dream that you have, you will make it. Not by crooked ways, hard work, and God. And when I talk about God, I talk about everything about God. Honesty, diligence, integrity, everything you can talk about God. Even if others are making it through crooked ways, you know it well that without being crooked, you can also make it. And it's my prayer that God will help you. You will not disappoint God, and you will make it. Now, when you get out there, there's what we call politics. You don't play it in the classroom. Everybody comes around and you begin to, you come to your classroom, you take your lectures, you write your exams, and you are really very fortunate to have this beautiful environment to study. It's not so in other universities. So you have been living a life of comfort, in quotes. Now, when you get to work, the way you relate with people, some people call it office politics. We have a lot to do with how far you can go. And when I talk to the younger ones, I tell them, I say, look, your certificates can get you a job. But whether you are going to retain that job, or you'll be asked to go, or you will be asked to move up, will no longer depend on that certificate. What will determine your stay on the job, your exit, or your promotion will be your hard work. If you are diligent, it will help you. But that is not all. Your relationship, your attitude. Somebody can be hardworking, he may have a poor attitude. Nobody wants to work with such people. If you are hardworking and you have good attitude, the likelihood that you are going to move forward is very, very high. If you are very hardworking and you have a very bad or poor attitude, you will not, such people don't move forward. They are only kept on the job because they are hardworking. They will keep them there and say, yes, let him keep working for us. But for somebody who is not hardworking and he also has a very poor attitude, exit door is most assured. So you need to know as you are going out that you have done with exams, especially at graduate levels. You are now going to an environment where diligence, where attitude will determine how your future will look like. Diligence and attitude. And I'm very happy to tell you that I have the opportunity of being at interview panels where graduates of Babcock were interviewed. And I do have some of them working with me directly. I tell the truth that they are the best you can find anywhere. So I do hope that this good image that those that have gone ahead of you have created, you will sustain it and also move it forward. So, uh, so my advice for you, like I've said, outside there is not a bed of roses. It is a time for struggle. And because of struggling, I mean, there are few jobs with so many people. Today, you want to employ only 5 people. About 1,000, 2,000 people will apply for a position of meant for 5 people. How do you do it? And if you are lucky to have that job, then for you to keep it, you must be diligent and you must have positive attitude. Now, integrity and honesty, coupled with forthrightness, is very key. You must not, I mean, we are in a world of get rich quick. We are in a world of be smart. And when the interpreting smart, smart means taking advantage of people. God does not want us to do that. If you have integrity, if you are honest, it could be, maybe you are not moving as fast as others, but I tell you that you will still get to where you are going. Others that you think are moving faster and they are using crooked words, they will crash out of the way. And by the time you look forward, you discover that you are even far, far ahead of them. So I charge you to be honest, be a person of integrity, regardless of the temptations that will come your way. It will surely come, but just make sure that you do not, betray your family name and even the name of your alma mater. When you get there, desire to be a contributor. Don't be a liability. When you have the opportunity of getting a job, make sure you are relevant. Make sure you are a positive contributor. You are not a liability. How will you heard me very well? Make sure you are what? A contributor and not a liability. Make sure you are an asset. Make yourself relevant so that when you are not around, they will know somebody is not around. It's not a matter of, oh, he's not around, thank God she didn't come today. Then have a test for knowledge. You have done your exams. You are now a graduate, but this is not the end of learning. This is not the end of what? Learning. There's still a lot for you to do what? To learn. Oh, bye-bye to school, bye-bye to exam. Oh, I remember those days when I was teaching at Ife and the University of Lorry. Oh, you hear student, oh, bye-bye to that man. I don't want to, I no more exams. Hey, it's not true. Those people that says bye to learning, bye to knowledge, they are saying bye-bye to what? To progress. So, be ready to learn. Be ready to acquire more knowledge. There are several ways of acquiring knowledge. You can acquire knowledge on the job. They ask you to do something, and I'm going to share this with you today. When I finished, when I was teaching at University of Ilorin, I applied to Otto Anderson. Was one of the leading audit firms in Nigeria. And so, before then, I was being invited for interview everywhere. But I was not getting the job. And so, when I finished with Otto Anderson, they sent for me and told me, look, you did so well, but we can't give you this job because you don't have the practical knowledge. That classroom experience is different from on the job. I felt so bad. So I said, okay, no problem. So by the time the ASU strike of 1996, came up and for like 6 months, no salary, nothing, and I had to leave. I had to pick up a job. I was a lecturer 1 at the time. And for those of us in academics, there are only two levels between lecturer 1 and professor. About 2 days ago, I was told by one of my students that I have like 3 who are now professors. I think 2 in Ife, 1 in Ibadan. Now, I had no choice. When I got a job in bank, they gave me a job of a banking officer. I was a lecturer 1 in the university, 2 levels between me and the professor. I had to accept the job of a banking officer which is meant for fresh graduates like you. Why did I take it? Because I was told that a classroom experience is different from experience on the job. So I had to take a BO job, a banking officer job, and when I got it, I made sure I know everything I needed to know. I made myself available to learn. I make sure each student do, oh, can I see how you do it? And so you say I don't have the experience. Now I make sure I have it. And so the ground that that anyone consider I've lost, because I bent low to learn, even from those that I taught from the universities, I was able now to recapture it, the lost ground, and be able to overtake those that were ahead of me. So be ready to learn. You're on the job, be ready to learn. You have opportunity to come for more studies, either certificated ones or whatever. Make yourself available. And today, the world is moving very fast. There are new things that are coming up every day. And so if you refuse to learn, you will be left behind. I was talking to one of your professors this evening. I went to see him, and some of his lecturers came to the office, and we were talking about analysis and how to analyze data. And I was telling the lady, I said, have you ever seen mainframe computer before? She said no. Now, she was talking about some techniques to analyze that I don't know anymore. Now, if I have to come back to university to teach as a full-time, and I need to write papers, I need to bend myself and let her teach me. And so the same thing I advise you to do, that when you have the opportunity to learn, please make sure you learn. Then, I've said this before, have the fear of God at all times. In everything, have the fear of God. Because it's God that determines your existence. It's God that owns you. And so you have a desire, you have a dream. Let God be ahead of it. Let God be with it. Let God be everything around it. And don't be moved by what you see around. Then for those of you, yes, jobs aside, there are no jobs, let me tell you the truth. You might be fortunate, maybe there's somebody who is there to give you a note. I tell you there are no jobs. But if you want to be on your own, which I think I advise you to do, I used the case when she was talking about me. I teach new business creation and entrepreneurship development at University of Lagos on a master's program. And I used the case study of a student who saw an opportunity in a crisis and turned it to something else today. This boy was using crutches, a student in university like you. He was using crutches, and he discovered that the crutches that he used caused pains for his shoulders. So he now felt, is it not better to develop crutches that could reduce the weight, the pressure on the shoulders, and still make the person to walk faster and better? So he told his roommate, and they talk about it. He was not an engineering student, so he walked to engineering department and met some students and told them, he told them his problem with the crutch that he's using. And those students took that as their project for that year. They developed another, a set of crutches that was much comfortable. And so when it was done, this guy bought the patent right from them. And he floated a company, I forgot the name. And as I read about them last year, and today in US, that company is a quoted company. It's a quoted company. He saw a crisis, a problem, and he looked at it, and he turned it around, and it became a business opportunity that today is an employer of labor. So you too, you can look around you. What are the challenges around, either with you or with somebody else or your neighborhood or wherever, or you go to a place and say, no, they're not doing this thing well. See how they are doing it. I think I can do it better. If you can do it better, go and set up a similar company and do it better. And you'll be creating a job for yourself and for other people. So if you are the type that you say, no, I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work for myself. this is the best time you can do that. What I would advise you to do, as of today, back of industry where I work is giving support to graduates. We give loans to graduates without collateral. Because we believe you that you are the future of Nigeria. So, and several people have benefited from it. And when I was driving here, I was called that I have about 33 of them that I need to sign off. And I said by tomorrow, by the grace of God, I will sign off on them. So these people, they don't give collaterals, and the loans are 2 million, 2.5 million naira that you can run with. And before you know, for those that have taken it, they're serious with it, in another 5 years, 10 years time, that 2.5 million can turn to 5 billion naira. You will wonder. And by the time we begin, oh yes, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, how did you do it? They did it. And I think you also can do it. So there are opportunities. So, and thank God we have Chief Remy Ogumefun here, who is the Director General CEO of Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, meaning that you have a mentor in your midst. He has experience of how businesses fail. And so people like him can handhold you and walk through you through the path, so that what others experienced in the time past, you will not experience it when it comes to business failure. So the opportunities are there for you, and the future of Nigeria is on your shoulder. And I pray you will not disappoint your generation. You will not disappoint the generation that are coming after you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Seni. The moment you mentioned the loans without collateral, Cassie's ear just stood up like this.
Because I was saying 2.5 million, it's not a joke. I open food restaurant, I'm selling.
That's why you like food, Rich.
Food is
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Seni again for coming to us and talking to us. I don't know what notes you took. But I gleaned two very important things from what he said, and that is what can make you succeed out there, what made him succeed, and the kind of success he is today. And those two things are hard work and fear of God. Hard work and fear of God. And there were several other components that he listed as part of these two key things that he talked about. All right, while Dr. Seni was talking, we earlier mentioned that the President Vice Chancellor would be here, but because today he is chairing the congregation and Senate, he is unable to come and has sent an able representative in the person of the Chief of Staff to the President Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sunday Didam Audu. Dr. Audu is here to represent the office of the presidency. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, sir. Before we go, I'm sure you have a word from the VC himself, and especially for our distinguished guests.
All right, so while we have a quick interview, we're just going to come into the crowd and ask this question. He's talked about learning on the job and why it's important for you to get your first job, even if it's going to pay you 10,000 naira. It's important for you to learn on the job. And I was going to ask Dr. Oseni that when you see learning on the jobs, and that's what they asked us. I got the question when I first graduated, do you have any experience? So I put yes. That when I did internship in school, it was job experience, and serving in my mom's restaurant was job experience. Good enough, I got the job. But this is the thing, a lot of undergraduates go to offices, aside from internship. When you walk into a company and say you want to work, even if you don't want them to pay you, they often say no. So when you're hiring me and you ask me for experience on the job, the question is, where do we get the experience from? Am I correct? Because you hardly get a chance to get the experience. So I'm just saying, Bank of Industry and MAN and SSS and whatever the abbreviations are, try and hire undergraduates so we get the experience on the job. And so when we get these jobs, we actually can offer you something. All right, this is the question I'm going to ask, and I would like a few responses. This is the experience. It shouldn't be them chunking all their opinions on us. I wanted to ask this question. Money, are we talking? Money versus experience. What would you take? You guys give yourself a round of applause. I would take money. All right, I'm just going to walk to a few people and I want you to defend your stand. Money, experience, what would you take?
Okay, so if you just want to say something, just raise your hand and then we'll
Never
bring the
wear a
mic
blue
to you.
suit to an outdoor event. Money, never blue. Is it true? Never suit to an outdoor event. You get spotted. Money versus experience.
I'll take experience.
Why would you take experience?
I'm all for the advancement of your career.
I can't hear you.
To advance my career, like move forward career.
So if this job was offering you 250, for instance, and the experience is offering you nothing on the island, your father lives on the mainland, BRT on the everyday thing. Money versus experience. Look at me and answer sincerely.
Still experience.
Give him a round of applause.
All right, Kathy, we have someone here.
All right.
Okay, I'll pick money because money can buy experience and produce more money.
Now, that's what I'm saying. Give me a round of applause. All right, never wear a check shirt to an outdoor. Money versus experience.
I think I'll pick experience
Why would you take experience?
because eventually you can make billions of doing something you love rather than making short change at the end of the day.
Boys, do you agree? Alright, let's look for a lady's opinion. Never wear orange jacket to an outdoor event. Would you pick money versus experience? Your first job is going to offer you 250, but you're not going to do anything. You're just going to sit on the front desk and say, "Good morning, welcome to our villa cottage." Or, hello?
I take money because I don't come to school for all that. I came to school so I'll be able to make money. So I'll take money.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Cassie, we have the city guys. City guys are here.
But let me hear you.
All right, money versus experience. You want to say something?
I will go for experience personally.
Why would you go for experience?
That there's some things you really cannot buy. There's some things you learn.
Jomi Loju, that Burberry shirt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you really can't buy. When you get certain experiences, they propel you to get larger amount of things. So I think experience at a certain level gets you money in the long run.
Okay, Etty, do you have any other? I'll take my last guy here, and let me say, guys, never, ever wear a black suit to an outdoor event. You know, I like Dr. Oseni and the rest of our guests on the high table. I like to give you a profile of this guy, because I kind of got a chance to interview him on radio. And when Drake says, "We started from the bottom, now we're here," he's that kind of guy. If you want to know more about him, check him out after the experience. But let me ask you, experience versus money. I need you to put into context your background, the hustle, how you got here. Money versus experience. Michael,
Money.
explain.
I have enough experience.
Who gave you the experience?
My background.
The street.
Yeah, kind of street.
Alright, round of applause. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, please give you a round of applause. Thank you so much for being part of this one.
Alright.
Money versus experience. Dr. Oseni, your final take.
Experience. Okay, yeah, experience. Experience we give you money, now or later, but money can disappear anytime. She has just given us an example of somebody sitting in front of either at the reception doing nothing, only chatting, and she's making money. The day she's asked to go home, that there's not a robot to welcome people to the office, that day she become what? Jobless.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oseni. Ladies and gentlemen, you'd like to put your hands together for Dr. Oseni again. Thank you, sir. Again, I'd like to just say we have very distinguished persons here coming to talk to us, and we're very lucky. The next guest that we have is the third, last but not the least, on our protocol of our guests here this evening, is Lawrence Ehilebo. Lawrence Ehilebo is a man of many parts, a man of our generation, and there are so many things about him. Mr. Lawrence Ehilebo will tell us more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, please I present to you Mr. Lawrence Ehilebo. Put your hands together for him as he takes us on the next few minutes on what he has come here with. Thank you very much, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Chief, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Yeah, thank you so much. The great stallions. The great stallions. The great stallions. Well, my background is too long, so I'm not going to go into that. It's really too long, so I'll focus on the experience. Once again, I welcome you to this evening titled The Experience. And I'd like to start by saying that if you live here without having the experience, you don't have the experience. So you need to live here this evening with the experience so that you can have the experience. I don't know how many of you that are still celebrating the fact that you got admission into Babcock University 4 or 5 years ago. Is anyone celebrating that? Is anybody celebrating the fact or happy that he or she got admission here 4 or 5 years ago? Eh? Nobody? Okay. This is another time that we talk about not just business, but we talk about the boys, the girls, the men, the women, and then we talk about money. I'll also start by saying that you need to start with what you have as soon as you leave here. I don't know how many weeks more or months more that you have to collect your certificate from Babcock University. But as soon as that happens, start immediately with what you have. This is 15 years. I left school and it's not as if I've not gone back to do something else. I've gone back to do my postgraduate. But I tell you, many of you are lucky today for the fact that you are privileged to have a session like this 1 week or 2 weeks before leaving the campus. We didn't have that opportunity. So we finished, we picked up our certificates, and then we left and jumped into the labor market. I got my first job in 2001, 2002, and I was paid 20,000 naira. I was on that job for 7 months. I was still doing my youth service because the job came within that period. So I had to move shuttle between Abuja and Lagos and Port Harcourt. Then the 1 year came and gone. I got another smaller job of 45,000 naira. I was still managing it. I was on that job until the year 2009. I got another job just a week after my wedding. So I got another job. And I was being paid 75,000 naira. And then they branded that job and gave me a very beautiful official car. I was again on that job for another 10 months. But I wasn't really fulfilled. Because one, I couldn't go to church. You know, anytime I wanted to go to church. Again, it was a job that I wasn't given that opportunity to actually do the jobs that I was supposed to do. When ideas were given, they were not taken like that. And you could see that these ideas, if they were applied, they were going to work. And I give you an instance. When I joined the last company I worked for, they called Aeroland Group. It's a group of companies. It has travel part, it has the property, and a few others. I was given a target of about 3 million naira for a start within my first 2 months. When I resumed, they gave me that target. I told them there's no problem. Even if I don't hit that target in the first month, that in the second month, I was going to hit that target. Then I settled down. I had my plan and my itinerary. I took off. Then before the end of the second month, I got 2 different corporate clients, and they gave us business. Then incidentally, the ED called me and said, "How did you get there? What happened? What was the miracle? What was the strategy?" I said, "It wasn't difficult for me. I just went and I told them what they needed to hear, and then they gave me the jobs. I brought them." Why am I saying that? And then the next thing I heard was that they have been there several times. In fact, the security men refused to open the gate for them. They could not enter. And then I was able to hit my target and exceeded it by 400,000. The job went on, and then I added more. I had the experience earning that salary and with a few other things. But before that time, I worked for Coca-Cola Nigeria Limited in Enugu. I worked for another company in Port Harcourt for a few months. I left. In all of those companies, I added experience. I gathered experience that I'm still using today to do something. If you check when I left school 15 years ago and today, I'm not too far away from each one of you. And my parents, they didn't create exactly the connections that I have today. The platforms that I have today, the places I have worked for today, they did not create them directly, but indirectly because they had to send me to school. And then I got the opportunity and got the capacity to be able to then work for somebody else to earn something. But that's not the issue. What's the issue? The issue is that since 2011 till date, I've been working in the service industry. And I've been talking about entrepreneurship. I've been talking about creating small businesses. I've been talking about starting with what you have. Now, but in all of this, I told myself something, that I need to create the world in which I want to live. I told myself, if people were not failing, if the presidents of this country, from 1 to 2 and more, if they were not failing, if the senators were not failing, if the director generals were not failing, if the VCs were not failing, tell me where your opportunities would come from. So something has to happen. We are not saying that anybody is cursed, but what we're saying is that when you develop the capacity to be able to do something, you don't need to go about begging for it. The problem again is that we have this "it is not enough" mentality. It has become a problem. You know, as you're leaving school now, some of you don't even need cash to start. When I ask you, why is it that you won't start anything immediately, you say, where will you get the capital from? And the question I keep asking is capital always the problem? The answer is no. It's not always the problem. Some people have had that capital, they started and then the business collapsed because there was no experience. Some people have been taking loans to start businesses, no matter how small, and then that business collapsed and failed. It wasn't the problem of capital. It was that of not being able to give that business the experience, the knowledge, and what it needs to start and be sustained. When we started Efficient Links Global Services in 2009, when I registered it, the business did not start immediately. I went for a conference, and the facilitator, the guest speaker, insisted that anybody who had not registered a business name, at least as at that day, before he or she returns the third day, that person must come there with a receipt to show that he or she had gone to CAC to register. And I went, regardless of how much I was earning, and then I registered that company. It did not start until about 2010. I registered it for 4,500. And then later on, it was upgraded to a limited liability company. When that company started, the investment as at that time was about $400, which is about 155,000 naira at that time. Today, it's no longer the same. In our office, we have about 5 staff working in that office. And we have a few other things that we do in that office. Why am I saying that? If I had considered how much capital injection that we had at that time, I would not have started. I would have been waiting for loans of 1 million or 2 million or 3 million or 5 million to start. But today is a different thing altogether. And then we had to register the Under 40 CEOs network for young people. It's all about training them, talking about creativity, talking about what you have, and then ensuring that that little push which you need, that you have it. We emphasize starting with what you have, because if you're living here and graduating, leaving this campus in another 2 weeks, so that you know that the money that you don't have today is not a problem. Perhaps there's an idea you have developed, you haven't told anybody. You can make money from that idea. That part of that idea can be given out, and then you still have money to continue with what you want to do. 3 weeks ago, just to tell you that to start a business is not always about capital. Somebody called me, I don't know him, I've never met him. He said he was referred to me by somebody from Lagos, and he's based in Abuja. And he said he has these friends who want to invest in Nigeria, and that they need an operational license in a particular sector, and that happens to be the sector in which I operate. I told them, okay, no problem, that I could help them source for that license. Eventually, within 2 weeks, I got the license for them, and I got the price. For the sake of this place, I'll just mention the price of the license. And the owner of this license said he was going to sell the license for 17 million. And at the end of the day, they ended up giving him at 15 million. And I told them that for whatever price that you're going to pay, you are going to pay me 10% of that value. And this was something that went on for only 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks because some agreements had to be signed. And then at the end of the day, they came at the point of making payments. The CEO of that company, that new company, now said that they were not going to continue with that transaction. And I asked them why. They said they just got an information that a particular company was leaving Nigeria, and that company was going to be one of their major clients. I said, well, that's good for you, but that's not good for me. And he said, why? I said, we had an agreement. The agreement was that I was going to get this license for you, and I got it. Did you get it? He said, yes, okay, you have to pay. And he paid his 10%. What is 10% of 15 million? Eh? What is 10% of 15 million? 1.5 million. Can somebody start a new company with 1.5 million? If we had not started, could we have started with 1.5 million? Eh? Now, The question is, that money has to be plowed back into our own business. I didn't suffer so much. I didn't suffer so much for that. That is just 1 out of 5. The point again I want to make here is that don't think that anybody who is telling you that you need capital to start also has the experience. The person may not even have enough information about what you want to do. If you're leaving this campus and you want to go into fashion, or you like fashion as you're seated here, looking so beautiful, you can then start with that kind of business. All you need to do is to find out what you need to add to that industry. You have the people that we call tailors, and then you have the designers. The tailors are not doing a good job. Many of them are not doing good jobs. And then you have those you call designers. What do they have? They design, they tell you what kind of designs your clothes, your dresses, your trousers, and whatever should have. Some of them, if you don't know, are charging money nowadays. They tell you, I give you this design and you pay me 1,500 or 1,800. Some of them that are so excellent and exceptional, some of them pay as high as 2,500 for having a design on your shirt. That's just one. Now what we're saying is that you don't need to wait. I tell you a story. I'm sure some of you are aware of the book written by Russell Campbell, The Acres of Diamond. You know, this man sat, he had a farm, and he was there for many years. He sat there, he didn't know the value of what he had in his farm. And he was there farming, looking for diamonds all over the place. He could not find even one. And then somebody walks up to him and tell him that there's this gold rush somewhere in a faraway country. And then he decided. He said, are you sure? He said, yes. Are you sure? He said, yes. He made up his mind. He didn't ask so much questions. He didn't investigate. He didn't spend time trying to find out whether the man himself had been there. If it is true that diamonds are being sold somewhere in another country, why is it that he was there with him and not in that other country? Anyways, he decided to travel. But before he did that, he sold that piece of land that he was searching for diamonds every day. At the end of the day, he was there in far away in another country in search of diamonds. He didn't find anyone. He spent all the money that he realized by selling his own farmland. He didn't get anything at all. Then he was hungry and dirty. Somebody now that he sold this land to, one day picked up a stone, and he got home with this stone and kept it on his table. One day, he didn't know the value, he didn't know it was diamond. And then a priest walks up to him and says, hi, what is this? He said, just a piece of stone. He said, no, this is diamond. He said, what, diamond? He said, no, it's just a stone I picked up from the farm. He said, where did you pick it? He said, it's from the farm. And then they invited experts. Experts came. And they discovered that the entire land was sitting on diamonds. That the entire land was sitting on diamonds. Meanwhile, the man had lost all the money that he traveled with, like the prodigal son. And then he got angry, he was frustrated, he had no food to eat. And then he jumped into a river and got drowned and died. This man developed that farmland, and they were able to make so much money from this piece of land that had so much diamonds. What's the moral lesson? The lesson there is that this man had that little thing in that around him, but he never valued it. Some of us have one little piece of idea, but it has not worked. When I left school, I had a capacity, after attending few seminars, to write business plans. One day, a consultant called me in Ikeja, and he said, please, I saw your CV, and going through your CV, I saw that you have the ability to write feasibility studies and business plans. And I said, yes. He said, okay, that he has one, if I can help out. I said, yes, but you are going to pay me. This is somebody looking for a job. Oh. At the end of the day, he gave me the thing. I told him it would take him 3 weeks to get that feasibility study and business plan all together. I told him he was going to make a part payment. That he did. Then within 3 weeks, I was able to give him the first draft. So he made amendments, made corrections, sent it back to me. Then I finished the job. I sent it back. How much did he pay me? He paid me 250,000 naira. Now, when I got back to him, you know what the consultant said? He said, Mr. Lawrence, this is a good business for you. But I'm telling you this because I see you as my younger brother. That the company that asked him to write this business plan paid him 1.5 million naira for it. And he paid out how much? He paid out how much? How much was his profit? Do you think I realized the value of what I had at that time? But I had to leverage on him to discover that I have the ability to make more money than 250,000 naira. And I pray that God would open your eyes to be able to see more capacities that you have in you, to be able to excel. It is not easy to start. I'm not promising you that as soon as you get there, you are going to get everything the way you want it. Experience is more important than that money. Because the more you have that experience, the more money you will be able to make on the long run. May God bless you in Jesus' name.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for him once again. Bottom line, don't sell that land that has diamond. Not every stone you see is a stone. Look at it very well. Please give him a round of applause once again. All right, we'd like to say a very big thank you to all our special guests once again. And sincerely, we wish you safe journey back. And I really hope for a lot of you that you've learned one or two things. I know you're very exhausted and tired, but we definitely appreciate you for coming out.
Before our guests go, Kafi, please, Dr. Oseni has a very sentimental attachment to Babcock. His wife is
currently pursuing a PhD at Babcock University Postgraduate School. Mrs. Oseni, Dr. Oseni, do you mind, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, give her a round of applause.
Please give her a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to be giving merit awards, and I'd like to invite Pastor Dr. Sunday Aldu to please give this first set of awards. And so please, if we're calling out the awardees, we'd like you to please appreciate them. My prayer is that your next life, if you do another graduate course, make sure that you're recognized. Our first merit award is presented for Most Influential Person of the Year, Stallion Class 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ibikule Olumide. Do you guys agree or not? Okay, if you agree, give him a better scream. Why are these boys beefing? I like that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our next award is for Sportswoman of the Year, Stallion Class 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Adetayo Funto. She's a gold medalist for Empuga, and she sure deserves it. A round of applause for her. Ladies, what happened to you? Let's cheer the girl. Girl power. We'll still have Pastor Dr. Aldu present this award still to her. It's for Stallion Class 2016 Sportswoman of the Year, Adetayo Funto. Aw, congratulations. All right, sir, please, let's just keep you here. This exercise that we're doing for you to lose calories is too much. All right, the next award is for the Entrepreneur of the Year, which everybody's been pretty much talking about today. Being an entrepreneur, be part of the solution, not the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Entrepreneur of the Year, Female, Stallion Class 2016. Give it up for Olayiwola Doyin. Banana Sabiam. Lady, Olayiwola Doyin, what are you selling? Is she a designer or what? Okay, well, let's appreciate good stuff. A round of applause for her. Entrepreneur female, Olaiwola Doyin. Any of her friends can pick it up for her if she's not here. But if you're here, please double up, Olaiwola Doyin. Please double up. All right, while we wait for her, the next award, Merit Award, is for Sportsman of the Year, Stallion Class 2016. It is for Abiola Yomiwa. Abiola Yomiwa. Tomiwa. Okay, Abiola Tomiwa. They put a Yomiwa there for him. Fellas, what happened to the guys not hailing this guy? Jomilochu, he's not a goalkeeper, right? Please give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do the beef. No, don't do that. All right, the next award is the Orator of the Year, Public Speaking, Stallion Class 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ibikule Olumide. Nah, that's what I'm talking about.
Ibikule should be on the mic this
Fellas, what's up? Hail the guy now.
Why are you on the mic this evening? Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to him again. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And also we have Entrepreneur of the Year Male for Stallion Class 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Adiola Sheye. Please give him a round of applause, Adiola Sheye.
He's shy. Are you shy?
Entrepreneurs are not shy. You're not supposed to be shy. He's a saxophonist, isn't he? Yes, he is. He looks like him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. That's our first set of awards. But just before Pastor Dr. Aldo goes, since he's representing the Vice Chancellor, he'll be giving us his address. And let's get his experience for 2016.
Clap for me now. Sorry, next time the Vice Chancellor will come. When you are due for your master's graduation. Our invited guests and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our prospective graduates, it's a privilege to be in your midst at this moment. I just want to bring the felicitations of the Vice Chancellor to you. He is the one chairing the congregation meeting as well as the Senate that is currently going on. So his heart is here with you. He was talking about it, but the programs coincided. So please kindly accept his apologies. But he also congratulates you. He's happy that you are having this experience. And with the distinguished speakers we have here in our midst, you know, your number, you are over 1,000. But for those of you who are here today, I want to assure you this. There is someone seated in the congregation, someone seated out there that will trace the origin, the source of his greatness, her breakthrough, her innovations, her unique contribution to society, to this meeting of this evening. So that makes the difference for those of you who are here. Remember the 3 C's of Babcock University: character, competence, and commitment. These things were shared here in different forms, but I want to assure you that as you adhere to these things, you will move to great heights, and the sky will be the beginning point for you. Remember one thing, the so many problems we have can be converted to opportunities. So on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to say a big thank you to our guests, and I want to say congratulations to you. May God bless you as this experience becomes an integral part of your successful future in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Aldo, COS, to the President Vice Chancellor.
We would just like to give this set of awards so they can go as fast as they can. So please, if you hear your name, kindly come forward and take your award. And please, we will not be stopping. We're just going to go right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, for award of service for Stallion 2016 class, Akingbade Adedayo. Please, a round of applause.
All right, thank you very much. While Adedayo comes up, we have a question here so that our guests can respond, and then we can let them go in good time. Thank you very much, please.
First of all, I must say it was actually be an honor to hear prominent people speak in front of the Stallion graduates, because I must say, like, personally inspires me a lot to do more. My question is, what is the key to sustainability? In the sense that, if you look at the country today, yes, we have economic issues, blah, 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 blah. And you said something about job problems. But personally, I believe the reason why we have job problems in Nigeria is because we have a job deficit. Meaning, if you start up a company today, you employ 5, 10, 15, 20 people. After a certain period of time, the business fails. So, the people that have been employed, all of them, they have to lose their jobs, and then they are back into the labor market trying to get employment. And everything still boils down to the fact that there isn't actually an enabling environment to work. So what is the key to success? Because I'm a young entrepreneur, and I'm very ambitious. I have big dreams, I have big ambitions. But in order to get this things, I've realized that, because at this point right now, I can personally say my brand has a high market value, and it has a particular segment of the market that has been taken completely. But at this point, I've realized that, okay, I have gotten to a certain level, but now I have to sustain and expand. And I'm about to leave the university, and I'm going to be fully into the labor market. I just want to know, like, with your experience, what's the key to sustain? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question is, what is the key to sustaining business in Nigeria?
Okay. First and foremost, you need to be prudent. You need to be prudent, and we are also cutting down cost. You cannot be in business now and not think of cutting down cost. Yes, the economy is harsh. Some of the things that we planned we were going to do, we are not doing them because some other factors are still affecting on daily basis. But what we have done is to, one, ensure that at least we try to increase the business earnings. At least, if not on weekly basis, on monthly basis, something else is coming in. And then we have done so much in reducing cost. We did not reduce salaries or allowances, but we have reduced administrative costs, which is a major problem. Even in doing that, NEPA is no longer giving us light, so we have to buy more fuel to ensure that there's light in the office. We cannot afford to, do away with that. But there are other elements of cost that, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a business owner, because you are right there in the business, you can do away with some of those costs. For instance, as the MD of your company, as the SME owner, you make calls anyhow. On weekly basis, you can make like 750 naira is gone. And then MTN comes, or any of the GSM operators comes and says, we have this option of buying 3,000 naira, and then at a time, you put a code, we give you 12,000 naira worth of airtime in a month. Buying 700 naira worth of airtime in every week and buying 3,000 naira worth of airtime in a month, which one is cheaper? It's 3,000 naira that is cheaper. But some people will say, I don't want to do that, but it's a lot cheaper. What happens is that even if you don't finish the 12,000 naira worth of airtime, it will go away. But it saves you a whole lot of money. I know how much calls I make on monthly basis. And that has also helped to reduce our cost in communication cost. So you must sustain your business regardless of what is happening in Nigeria, because if the Nigerian GDP is low, your business GDP will also be low. But you can sustain it by reducing costs and then be more prudent. Make sure that you can get one more or two new business clients on monthly basis as they get by. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence Ehilebo. Dr. Oseni, do you have a word?
For you to sustain your business, you need to focus on why you are in business. You are not in the primary goal of being business, not to make money. The primary goal of being business is to satisfy your customers. So when you satisfy your customer, you will remain in business. If the needs are changing, make sure you adapt your product or service to the changing needs of your customer, and then you will remain in business.
Thank you.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Chief Ogumefo.
If you have any other questions, please forward.
The gentleman that just spoke, I don't know what your turnover is, but I will assume you are a small-scale entrepreneur. Good.
They say it's not small. They say plane is big.
Now, let me tell you a discipline that you should have today. You have to manage your business with a total discipline. One of the problems of someone like you in that business.
Plain.
Hello, sir.
Plain. They are addressing your issues.
One of the problems that I found out over the years with someone of your level, because I will assume you're a small-scale entrepreneur, is that there is no discipline in the way you handle business. You need to be very disciplined, okay? And I tell you today, if you don't have a salary attached to yourself, attach a salary today, right away in your business. You have to also imbibe the spirit of corporate governance. You run your business as a business. You run it as a business. It's not your personal estate where someone could just come in and ask you for money and you go and dip your money to the company's account. Or if you have any problem wherever and you go and dip your money to the company's account. That is what has killed so many enterprises in Nigeria. People don't have the discipline. So my take today, apart from what I've been advised by Dr. Seni and the other gentlemen, is that you should please imbibe discipline in the way you do your business. Run it as a business, not as a personal estate. Okay? Let it function thoroughly as a business, and you're going to be successful. You can then sustain it that way, and the business can grow and grow, and you can even retire from it and still growing. That's the way to do it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Chief Ogumefo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for our guest on the Experience 2016. On that note, we'd like to invite Barrister Etiadam to, on behalf of the university, say thank you to our guests because they will be leaving any moment from now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to appreciate once again our guests. Thank you so much for making time out with the force from scarcity, all that Niger factor, and still making it out to impact and enjoy the experience with us. And so we'd like to present you this award. Over to you, sir.
This award is for Mr. Lawrence Ehilebo. Please, sir, can you come over here? The university appreciates you. The Stallion class appreciates your contributions. We're very certain that many more entrepreneurs are coming out because you are here. So, congratulations. Congratulations. The Lord will lift you to higher heights in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much for the motivation that you're giving to young entrepreneurs in this country. God bless you.
And to our own Dr. Ezekiel Oseni, thank you very much. Somebody said we must give you more CVs from Babcock.
Yes, that we need to know how to assess those loans without collateral so we can do business.
Exactly. Food business.
Very much. And congratulations. and you will continue to grow higher and higher in Jesus' name.
Thank you. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you,
I
Dr.
appreciate
Sheni.
them. Thank you so much, Dr. Sheni. Your box
Thank
will be
you.
on your table.
And now to our own chief. I don't know why you wrote Mr. To me, he's a chief. Mr. Remy Ogumefu, our own DG. He has been here and we thank God that we had the privilege of having him. Congratulations. Congratulations. The Stallion class and Babcock University says you deserve this award. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir. A round of applause. Thank you very, very, very much. And this is the last one.
And Chief, you must come back. Your friend, Dr. Frank Jacobs, will not be happy if you told him that he had an award and you couldn't take it to him. Congratulations on behalf of Babcock University, saying we're grateful. Congratulations. Please pass our compliments to him.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We're glad you came. God bless you, sir.
Okay, let's go straight to the awards of service for the Stallion graduating class 2016. Great Stallions. Great Stallions. If you don't want to be name of the next year, we don't know, maybe it's Great Tiger. Great Stallion. Because now it's animal name. All this year has been Precious Stones. Now it's
this stone don't finish.
Stone don't finish now, animal. So this year na Stallion. Next year it will be Great Dolphins or Seal. We don't know. But all right, let's get to it. For the award of service, we have Akin Bade Adedayo for Stallion class 2016.
Congratulations, Akin Bade Adedayo. Congratulations.
Award of service for Adebisi Okuga. Adebisi Okuga. Award of service.
Award of service.
Award of service for Analechi Joseph. Analechi Joseph, a Stallion graduating class 2015.
Alright, these awards are in recognition of laudable service to the Chapel Seminar Committee of the Stallion Class 2016. So we'll just call the names and then they'll come out. This is for Chijioke Hopewell Ugu. Chijioke Hopewell Ugu, please.
Chijioke Hopewell Ugu, please, if you're there, come up very quickly. Please, we'd like you to please come up very quickly.
Let's take it very fast and snappy.
And then right after that, you have Mamdu Sarah Fure. Mamdu Sarah Fure, award of service for Stallion graduating class. Please, if you're there, also come up very quickly.
If you're in the arena, kindly come up very quickly. It's okay.
We have Brandy Brandy Ebade. Please, a round of applause for them. A word of service for them.
And Chinaka Emmanuel. Chinaka Emmanuel,
if you're there, a word of service for Stallion graduating class. We have Honor Olaguju, a word of service for graduating class. Please, we'd like you to double up. If you're coming to pick up your awards, please double up. Thank you very much.
For Honor and Emmanuel, it's in recognition of laudable service to the music committee of the Stallion Class 2016. Thank you.
All right, we have a word of service presented to Osibo Arieta. A word of service for your laudable service to music committee. Osibo Arieta, please, if you're there, hurry up and double up.
Kingsley Okorie. Your contribution to the music committee of
Osibo and Okore, please double up if you're seated. We also have Adoba Bukumi. Please, if you're there, also double up and get your service award.
Samson Victoria Siphon.
Samson Victoria Siphon.
Abraham Owama.
Abraham Owama, please. We also have Okebe Michael.
Ogutayo Taiwo.
Please, if you're seated, come right up for your word of service. We have Ajayi Jesuloni. As well. If you're there, please come up. And your absence, you can pick them up from your escorts later.
This is a recognition of service to project committee. Onabanjo Oluwabamishe,
a word of service. We also have Osibo Margaret, a word of service to the media committee of Stallion graduating class. Osibo Margaret. Media committee, you have Nagaro Richie, also for service to media department.
Adebite Shola
as well, a word of service. If you're not coming up, you can come for it later. A word of service for Olani Oluwatosin. And we have Adewale Boluwatife. We also have Ade Gbenyi Odunayo. Please, if you're there, come up and let us know who you are.
If I mispronounce your name, please, it's not part of this experience.
Osidende Oluwaloju. Please, if you're there, come up for your word. Thank you so much for running up here quickly. Oketunji Ayomide, a word of service. Yes.
All right.
Oketunji Ayomide, your commitment to Sports Social Committee of the Stallion graduating class.
Okay, send my word to Chioma Victor C.
Chioma Victor C, a word of service.
To the Sports and Social Committee of the Stallion class.
You also have Akani Dolakwo for your commitment and recognition, sports and socials. Akani Dolakwo. You have Cynthia Amayo Ose. Tia, please, your word for service is here, waiting for you. Let's double up very quickly. We also have Adetayo Funto, Sports and Socials. Adetayo Funto. We have Olilobi
Oseloka.
Also, we have Anya Fulu Chukuka, your word of service. Ladies and gentlemen, please appreciate them.
Aboduri Oluwatobi, please come forward for your certificate.
Aboduri Oluwatobi, come up for your certificate.
Aboduri Oluwatobi, if you're the owner, kindly come forward for your award.
We have Oladejo Tinuola, also for your commitment to the welfare department for the Stallion graduating class. We have Oyalade Oluwaseyi.
And we have Obot Iniobong. Obot Iniobong, if you're the owner, kindly come up, okay? And we have Ibikule Olumide
for your word of service as well.
Alright, Balogun Adeyinka,
please come up for your service award as well.
And Oya
Kilome victory. Oya Kilome victory.
Okonkwo Lillian. Okonkwo Lillian. Umoru Grace. Umoru Grace. Odunuga Ireti.
Odunuga Ireti. A word of service for Odunuga Ireti. Right after that, we have Ayeni Omo Busola.
In recognition of service to training committee of the STALLION class. Odunuga Ireti.
Also, right after that, we have Adeyemi Bukola. Adeyemi Bukola, what a service. Ola Bulo Tolulope. Ola Bulo Tolulope, what a service as well.
Awachie Pascal. Awachie Pascal.
Awachie Pascal.
Oyebanji Oyeronke. Oyebanji Oyeronke.
All right, we'd like to invite Pastor Dr. Aldu for the presentation of the award to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Ademola S. Tayo, on behalf of the STALLION graduating class 2016, in acknowledgement of his generous support to the STALLION class 2016. And ladies and gentlemen, please give him a round of applause. You can do better. We're talking about our Vice Chancellor here.
The CEO of Babcock. Thank you very much.
Wait, Babcock. We would also like Dr. Aldu to pick up for Professor Iyachuku Okoro in acknowledgement.
Vice President Academic Administration.
In acknowledgement of his gracious support, STALLION class 2016 as well. Please a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Pastor Dr. Aldo, you'll do us the honor tonight of taking awards for especially the principal officers. You're representing administration tonight, so thank you.
All right, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have a few service awards to go. I know a lot of you are expecting to find the awards like most fashionable, finest, most handsome. God bless you guys on that wing. We don't need them. Finest don't do it. All right, service award for Oyebanji Oyeronke as well for your support for STALLION graduating class 2016. We have Okonkwo Lillian as well. And Ogu Hopewell Chijioke, if you're there, please come down for your awards. We have Okeke Ifunaya and Andy, which name, surname I cannot pronounce because I don't want to remember it. And you have Anoba Deborah.
Anonaba Deborah.
Okay, Anonaba Deborah. And thank you so much.
Please, can you come up? I don't want to tell the meaning of that name.
What does it mean?
Get down.
All right, Ibikule Olumide as well. You have another award here for training committee, and a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. I know, now only this guy did STALLION. I don't understand. Alright, congratulations for all of you for your commitment and service to the STALLION graduating class 2016. We appreciate you and would like you to please give yourselves a big round of applause again. Thank you for coming out tonight. Special thanks to all the ESCOs. Special thanks to you, sir. Thank you very much. It's been such a pleasure working with you, and there's so much to eat. Even though there's not what you expect in it, I'm not going to leave you without a word from Pastor Dixon tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. It's going to be quick and short.
Yeah,
and then we can enjoy music from DJ Slim tonight. Pastor Dixon, a quick one, and we'll have the president of the class do the vote of thanks, and then we'll be out of here.
Sorry, before the vote of thanks, Pastor Dixon. No, Pastor Dixon, we are not done. But ladies and gentlemen, please meet Pastor Dixon, the co-sponsor for the STALLION Class 2016. He's one of yours, this little or no introduction. But please put your hands together for Pastor Dr. Dixon. And for Barrister Dr. Adams, also with one of yours. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to be presenting, giving out the medals, the athletic medals for the sportsmen and women who are in the house, the athletic medals. Thank you.
All right, we're about to start with the STALLION Olympic medalists, the ones for the track events. We have for the
100 meters, we have bronze, we have Intiwuka Ellen Chidima representing law. For silver, we have Emanuela Osaji representing biochemistry. Gold in the 100 meters, we have Adekombi Abigail. Both sides. Alright, please give it up for silver for Emanuela Osagi representing biochemistry. Please, can we have a round of applause for Adekombi Abigail representing both sides?
Alright, thank you very much. That's those are the gold medalists. They are presented to Silas Chikako, Political Science. Silas Chikako, Political Science. We have Umwaloka Prince, Computer Science, silver medalist. Bronze medalist Chisom Ogbumwa, IFA. These medals have been given out to the deserving owners who participated in track events, 100 meters female and 100 meters male. Alright, for 200 meters. 200 meters female, gold Emanuela Osage biochemistry. Emanuela Osage biochemistry. Silver Jerry Esige FA ILD. And bronze Osioba Margaret mass communication. .400 meters female, 400 meters female, gold medal to Adekombi Abigail, Political Science. Adekombi Abigail, Political Science. Silver Emanuela Osage, Biochemistry. And bronze medal to Adetayo Oluwafumito, Mass Communication. .200 meters male, gold Ebenezer Omo, Computer Science. Ebenezer Omo, Computer Science. Silver Silas Shikako, Political Science. And bronze to Ebo Ayo Bamidele, bronze ILD. Is Ayo Bamidele in the arena? No. Alright, 400 meters male, gold medal goes to Silas Shikako, Political Science. Silver, Ebenezer Omo, computer science. Bronze, Nwa Local Prince, computer science. This is for 4 by 100 meters female. Gold medal goes to Economics Biochemistry Med Lab. We have, this is for the relay, 400 meters relay female. Alright, 400 meters male. 400 meters male, representing computer science. Gold medal goes to computer science. So computer science representatives, please kindly come for your gold medal. The silver medal goes to ILD. Bronze goes to political science. So please can representatives of these departments kindly come for the medals. Thank you. Is that silver? ILD, Pole Science, alright, we go over to the field events. The field events, javelin, female, gold medalist to Ntiwoka Ellen Chidima representing law. Silver medal to Emanuela Osagie, biochemistry. Bronze to Adedayo Oluwa Fumito, mass communication. Javelin female, Ebenezer Omo, computer science, gold. Silver, Silas Shikaiko, political science, and bronze, Dako Iyare, mass com. Ebenezer Omo, computer science, gold. Silas Chicago, political science, silver, and bronze, Dako Iyare, Mascom. Short put, female, gold, Ntiwoka Ellen Chidima Law. Silver, Adedayo Oluwa Fumito, Mascom. And bronze to Emanuela Osagie, biochemistry. Bronze. That's bronze. Yeah, silver. Alright, short put male. Short put male, gold. Bondefaye Timilayi ILD. ILD. The gold medal goes to Bondefaye Timilayi. Silver to Silas Shikaiko and bronze to Ebenezer Omo.
Alright, next up we have the gold and silver winners for the Stallion Class League. Coming in second place, silver, we have Samba players, base admin. Olutoye Joe, Ekpo Ufo Basi, Adegoke Bolaon, Matthew Oloyede, Folorunsho Lanre, Latona Ibrahim, Emery Peter, Lawrence Augustine, Tosin Ogunbajo, Akinyosoye Osmond, Oyebanji Ademola, Oyenekon Oyegbenga, Goke, Sanut, Tunde Idris, Modi Martins, Sunaiki Benga, and most importantly their coaches, Norem Goodluck and Shegun Lawal Ademola. Please give it up for Biz and me, Samba players. All right, up next, we have the winners of the 2016 Stallion Class League. Please give it up for computer technology. All right, I'm going to call their names accordingly. We have in their goalpost Ajibola Oluwatosi, who was currently man of the match for the finals. We have Adebowale Ayodeji. We have Lawantin Taiwo, Ajoko Obina, Ume Emeka, Ashawo Kolawole, Nachuku David, Ibrahim, Nogu Nonso, Ajoke Obioma, Olumide, Uchendu Frank, Ogunola Olunde, Ajayi Akintomiwa, Kadiri, Makonjuola, Oluwarantimi Oluwatoni. Please give it up for computer technology.
Niggas smelling nice, stop up for a bunch. Oh, what's in my crib? Why sick? Hello, I see that I be pulling on my woman. Let me check out
Winning team, I thought you had a winning dance. I mean, they always have winning dance now. What happened? You don't have winning dance. You have. What song are we playing for you to dance the winning dance? I mean, guys, don't you think we need some entertainment tonight? Okay, if you agree, say yeah. Let's get some DJ Slim. The winning team needs to dance for us. So, you know, let's have some Stallion. Maybe we'll get the dab, you know. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's get the winning dance. Okay. Why we going like this? You can never do this twice, so you better do it once and for all. What kind of team is this, Jomiloju? Okay, now you can do better. 2016 Stallion winning team. Computer boys, you know how they do it. Notorious for brilliance, style, fashion, height. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Okay. Hey. You can't do this twice. You only do it once, guys. You better turn up for this, guys. I have the best view. You guys can't see nothing. I'm looking for more dabs, I beg. Hey! Snapchat! Anybody interested in the Snapchat? Alright, give it up for the boys. Thank you for rapping good. Well, if there's anything I need to learn, if I ever leave Babcock, is how to dab. Damn, they know how to do this thing great. Pastor Dixie, you should try it too. Pastor Dixie, I can do tutorial for you. They say you do left, do right, then you just shoot the gun. Alright, we need to give a few more service awards, ladies and gentlemen. I see the food is going round. If the food is not getting to your section, please say no. All of una food una come chop. I've been see one girl for the shop where I go collect clothes. The girl say they talk, say experience there. I say, yeah, you should come, it's gonna be fun. She said, no, be that one they go for. They don't say chow day. Can imagine, Babcock girls. Chow, they know they miss. Alright. This award of service goes to Harmony Jesu Bukumi for being a part of the electoral team. If you're there, please come pick it up very quickly. Also, you have for Ehofose Eloho for being a part of the electoral team. You also have Kalejaye Omolola for being a part of the electoral team. You had Adejola Adejumoke for also being a part of the electoral team. You have Ayonfolu Chukwuka. You have Johnson Emmanuel for being a part of the. You have Shiyabola Oluwadara for also being a part of that team. Also being a part of the electoral award of services for Aluko Esther. Alright, you also have Amadi Amarachi for also being a part of the electoral team. Alright. We're going to also have a few award of service for the ESCOs, and we'll call on Pastor Dixon to please give out this award. ESCOs, please, you better be available because all those boys are leaving, and when they go, the party is gone. Alright, we have a award for Dr. Tete Michael Adam for his selfless service to the STALLION graduating class. Please give him a round of applause. I might not give you the award. Okay, I'll just give you the award. Thank you very much. Alright. This next one is for Omen Azu Uchechi. I beg your pardon. Omen Azu Uchechi. Please, if you're there, come for your award. Alright. Also, you have Amechi Precious for recognition to your work for to your service for STALLION class. I know a lot of us have to go, so do I. We also have Abiola Tomiwa for your award to the class. And there's a few more coming, and we'll just be out of here. You have Ebikade Evans also for your service to the class. And Akwan Iniabasi for your service also to the class. And I think pretty much the rest of the awards you can pick up from Gloria J because a lot of people are gone. And lastly, you have Eti Bisola for your award of service to the class. Eti Bisola. I'm just going to do two more and then we're going to allow the music go. You have Iyeke Dumabi for your award for your service to the class, and Olubede Salami. Those are the couple of awards for awards of service, and I guess that's how much we can take. If your name is here, you can please come pick this later. We would like to say a very big thank you to you guys and also say congratulations. This is the beginning to the most interesting part of your life, like I said earlier, and I wish you all the very best. Continue to shine and ride high against the tides. My name is Damilola Kafidia. Enjoy your evening and stay blessed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the graduating class will say the vote of thanks by way of appreciating every one of you for being here today.
Good evening, everybody. I want to say a very big thank you to you all for coming out this evening. It's our program and we've made it happen. It doesn't happen two times to a person who's going to graduate. But I want to say a very big thank you to you all, and I know we would make June 5 in Jesus' name. So very quickly, we're going to rise up as we take our closing prayer together. Please let's all rise. All right. Please let's rise. I'm praying. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together this evening. We thank you for how the program has gone smoothly. We thank you for how you've led us throughout, Lord. Father, we say glory and honor be ascribed unto your name. Father, we pray that as we go to our halls, as we'll be doing eating and drinking, Lord, Father, I pray, bless us and you enrich us, Lord, that none of us here would fall short of June 5 in Jesus' name. That at the end of it all, Lord, we'll be able to come out with good grades that we can be proud of. Thank you, Lord, and bless our parents who pay our school fees and our sponsors out there. For in Jesus' name I've prayed.